A number of you requested I make a video about game packs, so here it is. The Sims 4 doesn't have just expansion and stuff packs. In general, game packs have even more stuff than a stuff pack and usually a good bit of actual gameplay. With that said, let's look at all of them and what you get when you buy them. In early 2015, so much was missing from the base game, we were begging for more, and EA answered the call with a vacation spot, tents and coolers, and an easy way to get sim farts on video. So yeah, based on the name, we're off on an outdoor retreat with Sims 4's first ever DLC. In truth, the destination and a few things to do here are the meat of the pack. There are new fish, camping themed recipes, and plants and insects to collect. You for some reason can't just visit here without going on vacation and paying a daily fee. When you're frustrated by this, just accept that this is because there aren't any cars in Sims 4. Anyway, yeah, you do need to rent a camping site or lodge to take full advantage of the new collecting and herbalism skill that comes with this. Herbalism lets you identify plants. You can pick them and eat it and hope nothing bad happens, or do it like a pro and identify them directly. Then you can go right around the FDA regulations and mix this psychoactive plant with bugs you collected to make serums that can relieve Sims of stress, nausea, or fix hygiene by rubbing a deodorizing cream on your pits. That one's actually good because it requires only plants and you can grow those at home. Anyway, in order to make all of the serums, you have to go on a vacation because of the damned insects. You can grow the plants at home, but somehow Granite Falls is the only place in Sims World with those types of bugs. But you can find the other kind when you observe the game's AI. If you meet the random townie hermit who lives in the secret deep woods area, you can learn a new herbalism recipe. It's a fertilizer recipe, but takes a good bit of work to really take advantage of because of the insects, which almost entirely destroys its purpose because it's a pain to make more than a few unless you use a dupe cheat spell. When you're not on a vacation, you can make use of the camping equipment from this pack to live an easy life or cloud gaze in places other than outdoor retreat to get inspired for 6 hours. Honestly, it's the most used part of the pack, but the beans and camping stuff might also make their way into your play if you buy this. Sims 4's second game pack came 6 months later and offered Sims a more direct way to relax. Spa Day introduces wellness to the game, both as a skill and a concept. There's a new spa lot type where Sims can take part in wellness activities like meditation and yoga, stretching things that they've never stretched, and doing a face plant during Downward Dog. When they get it, they can use it to create various buffs. Sims can learn to give massages or pay to receive them. These offer powerful moodlets that are long-lasting. Leveling wellness lets you get more out of meditation, such as the ability to sometimes freeze needs, melt away stress, and teleport. The pack comes with the opportunity to cook yourself to death in the new sauna object. When used in moderation, Sims can enjoy intense warmth and humidity to relieve stress and socialize while nearly nude. This pack comes with a couple cool objects, like incense that can give off an emotional aura in the area around it, or burn down your house if you leave it unattended. There are some really nice aquariums in this pack that accept all types of fish and will show them swimming around. The next game pack to offer us the opportunity to contribute to the $5 billion Sims franchise was Dine Out. This one came after Get to Work was already out and seems to at least somewhat make use of the retail system of that pack. It's been tuned toward letting you run a restaurant. That's the main feature, or I hope that's the main feature in most people's eyes, as I wouldn't pay $20 just to go to a Sims restaurant. I'd like to be able to run one. You can manage your chefs and wait staff, buy restaurant perks, and advertise your business to get more customers. There's a star system that ranks your restaurant, but this pack needs cleaned of bugs and has a reputation for that among the community. I didn't run into a lot back when I did my own, but definitely could see how the AI needs a lot of improvement to make this work well. Something I liked about managing the restaurant is that you need to pick your menu, and the difficulty of the dishes does matter. If you have a bad chef, you shouldn't go for making high-level meals, but rather stick to what they know. This can have a big impact on star rating. You can use the chef's station to make the special dining-only recipes at home. These are experimental recipes and require at least level 5. When your sim tastes it, they'll learn the recipe. The problem is they really do require this chef station to make, and it has to go in a wall. Oh yeah, there's booths. If you don't like the idea of retail in a restaurant or don't strongly desire booths or these tables and chairs, if you feel eating somewhere else is not an attractive feature with a point, you probably would want to skip this one. I'm not even really trying to review these packs as a right. I just realized going back over Dine Out that if I'm not running a restaurant, I use none of it. The Vampires game pack brought the first real occult progression system to this version of the game. You can of course ask to be turned into a vampire, with one residing conveniently in the new town of Forgotten Hollow. Let's be clear, it's generous to call it a town. It's only got a handful of lots, but say something nice about Forgotten Hollow. Oh, it does look a bit creepy at nighttime. The town's an aside. Vampires are the main thing, and they're not like aliens, mermaids, or ghosts, in that vampires have to earn the powers that make them unique. At first, you can only really feed as a minor, fledgling, wimpy vampire. You can either ask nicely, or just take it. Eventually, vampires require blood, or they'll snap and go get it forcibly in a frenzy. Did you know that people don't like it when you do that? The vampire system comes with its own perk tree, and every so often you'll get points to spend on various benefits. As your vampire feeds and grows stronger, they'll gain more powers. Many of them are like spells, allowing you to charm others into consent, put them to sleep, or make a whole room feel a certain emotion. They make hella good comedians if you want to try to kill a group. You can also get hidden buffs that give you more strength, skill gain, less energy usage, or more resistance to the nasty evil sun. Yes, vampires can of course die in the sunlight, and that's not their only downside. They have to take actual weaknesses as they grow in rank, meaning you have to pick something bad that will happen to your sim. Many of these can be overcome, and they're not exactly game-changing, but they do give you some handicaps to play, like requiring more thirst or making it hard to make friends because everyone considers you that guy. The one who hisses at Olive Garden. Sims who do not choose to be vampires can learn the vampire lore skill, which teaches you to repel vampires or cure the affliction. It's got a little lore fed to you through the notification system, but nothing too deep. Vampires playing with their organs is kind of cliche, so I guess they had to include that, but they did make unique music for it. The pipe organ skill is a lot like piano and other musical instruments. In fact, I'd say it's identical. They're all identical. Really, it's like one skill, but 5 times the hassle. The pack comes with a couple new aspirations, as you can be a master vampire or a good vampire. You can certainly use the build mode objects to make a creepy cemetery look or something very dark and gothic, but you need to want to play a vampire, or you should ignore this pack's existence like you would a guy who gets too drunk and hisses at people at the Olive Garden. Wow, that's actually half of them. You must be so engaged. Like this to stroke my ego a little bit so I can be happy here in isolation. 4 months after The Sims 4 Vampires, the Parenthood game pack was released, promising a bit more gameplay for adolescents. It starts having an effect on toddlers as lessons of life like manners, don't pee there, and that doesn't taste good find their foundations established early in life. The pack comes with this parenting system, character values. Your Sims kid can either be rotten or a golden child, and those effects carry up into adulthood. Teach them to have good manners and they won't belch around others. Fail to do so and, well, you know. Each of these comes with a positive and negative trait. 10 traits total, with any given sim having access to up to 5. Get the meter to an extreme on either end to get them. You kind of farm points by doing various things. Hate to put it that way, but you need to grind a little on some of them and do activities until you're in the solidly good or bad range, depending if you want your sim to be a monster or not. The traits can give some unique benefits that may be helpful for diffusing a tense situation, making a solid greeting, doing better at work, or improving bad emotions. Parents themselves learn the parenting skill, giving them powers to magically empty and or fill the child's bladder a little bit. It works both ways. Do we mean the meter or the bladder? See what I'm saying? Anyway, they can fix needs with the magic, or they can tell the sim to do something. You could kind of try to do this in a hands-off way and cede control of your sim's kid to try to parent them like some kind of big pet. I'm so sorry. Every now and then, a life lesson pop-up will occur which lets you make a choice for your kid, lowering one stat and raising another, or unlocking a hidden option if you have a high enough parenting skill. They call these teachable moments. Leveling parenting makes this much easier to manage, although the way the system is, it's never that hard. You're able to give your kid or teen a curfew, use groundings, or other punishments, which will also impact their character values traits. Kids can go through phases, and there may be sibling rivalries. Children and teens can do school projects to get some responsibility, but there isn't any gameplay objects that I can remember in this pack, and I looked back over it, and nothing. The parenting system and a parenting skill, that's the bulk of this pack. It definitely has stuff to make a nice children's bedroom, but this also exists, so pick one or both if you're interested. You are not going to believe this, but Jungle Adventure sends you on an adventure in the jungle. It's the unexpected that keeps me coming back. Anyway, this pack tries pretty hard to deliver. There's a bit going on here to talk about. This pack is all about taking a vacation like outdoor retreat, only to Selvadorado, where you can find a jungle to explore and a temple at its center. Along the way, there are fishing spots and collectibles, new foods to try, bushes to let you relieve yourself, locals to shag, and dig sites to excavate. Managing needs while in the jungle is a little harder, but you could nap in a bush you just peed in, or use a shower in a can, or both, in that order only. There are insects that might shock or set you on fire, so do keep that in mind. But again, that can be fixed. It's kind of a random event. They aren't really there for collecting or something. Make it through and you'll eventually discover the Amiskin Temple, which you can get through with some simple skill checks or some emotion berries. The archaeology skill obviously helps a lot in here, but charisma may come into play if you need to talk to this weird statue. I mean, other skills matter too, just not as much. The goal is to get through the doors to the final room, encountering totally non-threatening but rude skeletons along the way. When you do get to the end, you'll always find a treasure. Leave and the temple resets so you can do it all over again. This isn't to be pumped up. The temple is super simple, okay? Once you've got how it works, you will have no problem at all. It's a process of elimination and nothing more. Did I say excavate earlier? Yes, I did. The pack has an archaeology skill that involves digging up artifacts and relics, stealing them from the country you're visiting, and selling them on the black market. It's pretend, okay? Artifacts are things like old pottery or dagger from the Amiskans, and you can find a few different qualities of them. They can be made of something cheap or fancy gold. They sell for quite a bit. There are also treasures, which are another type of collection altogether, I believe, and usually found at the end of the temple. The other type are the relics, and those are where you find some cool stuff, yeah? 3 tops and 3 bottoms exist, and different combinations of these makes a different relic for up to 9 totally unique relics. Now you can put in a crystal you refined with the archaeology bench to give it power equal to the rarity of the crystal, from common to rare. Rares give the most powerful effects, but some are just different. These aren't attached to archaeology, so anyone can use them once they've been assembled. Adventuring in the jungle isn't entirely safe. Jungle critters or a poisoned dart from the temple can cause you to get a poisoned moodlet, depending if your Sim's body beats it off or not. This is the new death in this pack. I was kinda pissed when I discovered you can buy an antidote for 1,000 simoleons on the computer instead of, making one with the bone dust or using the new Salvadoradian culture skill. That's the last thing in this pack. Other than the various jungle-themed objects you can use to decorate a house, the skill teaches you to dance and do other local customs while you rob them of their heritage. But it's only 5 levels. You can also get the ability to buy from a secret shop that gives you better access to the cures and sells some of the relics. The Sims 4 StrangerVille represented both a callback to Sims 2 and an experiment of sorts for the franchise. They did some things they haven't done before in this pack with a story that involves you doing some simple quests to figure out what's going wrong in this town. It's next to a military base and people act like this. The walk is pretty good, creepy in a way, but very much showing that overly expressive Sims style. You'll find the crazies all across the new town, StrangerVille, which has an appearance that changes based on the phase of the story you're in. The town has some low-income areas and a lot of people love the look. It seems inspired by Area 51 and small towns in Nevada. You'll find a perfectly justified conspiracy theorist running a roadside stand where you can shop. The people who act strange all talk about Mother. I'm sure your mind goes to aliens or an Oedipus complex, but we already have access to those. If it were a novel or movie, I would be more concerned with spoilers, but the story here isn't deep. There are no twists or turns. It's a simple narrative, so adjust your expectations accordingly, though I won't completely ruin it for you. Despite the fact it's not the Sims equivalent of a Stephen King novel, I liked the experience of playing through it my first time, since it offers a little direction, but long term you rely a bit more on the other features anyway. It's one of those things you'll only do a few times at most and takes only a few sim days. I'm not trying to dunk on it, just telling you what to expect since it's very different. This pack brings a new military career you can take on. It's work from home, which is friggin' weird given military is very much not work from home. Anyway, it's a lot like Gardener or the Careers from City Living. Simple assignment and done. Not just a rabbit hole, but simple in nature. Whether you're military or not, you can work out on the training bot, which is a new item that is required for the career. You can go with either the covert ops or officer branches. You'll get some medals and a display case for your trouble, and the ability to recruit Sims if you go officer. It's for pretend. Or for covert ops, make more use of the listening station from the quest to bug Sims and listen in on their conversations, because evidently Sims has a terrorist problem. This is just a little side feature that is mainly used in the narrative. You can't make a living blackmailing others, but I sure wish you could. Or I wouldn't be doing this. There isn't a lot more than the new town, the story, and military career in this pack, but it does have plenty of build mode stuff to help you make a secret lab look. I don't have anything bad to say. It's light on features, but again, I did enjoy doing the quest one time, and there are some rewards for doing it. Realm of Magic introduces a new place called the Magic Realm, which sounds like a name I would come up with. Would you guess the Magic Realm's main building is the Magic Headquarters? We aren't stuffing people's brains with fantasy words here.
That
was real. Anyway, in that building you'll find spellcasters who can teach you to use magic, but they need to filter out the people who don't want it. So you gotta pick up some orbs outside the HQ first. When your sim's done, you'll get a pretty nice listing of spells to learn, with 24 total spells and an additional 15 potions you can make. The spells you can cast anytime so long as your charge meter isn't full, which Also gives the game an opportunity to kill your sim if you're extremely neglectful or a sadist who likes to kill sims like me and my friends. Potions are another matter, as they do take ingredients, but you can use your dupe cheat spell to make a sample into another and just never bother picking up even one ingredient. Aren't you clever? Casters can learn from books, duel for new spells and recipes, and ride about on a broom. Okay, I really mean ride straight up on a broom because it's basically a long-form teleport spell. While they didn't brainstorm much on good names for the Magic Realm and HQ, they spent their creative juices coming up with a few good ones like Scrubberoo to instantly clean anything, and Delicioso to summon a meal. They feel like Sims mashed up with Harry Potter. The spells and potions cover most, but not all, of the unique powers that exist in the game in every pack, such as repairing something, duplicating things, duplicating yourself, evolving plants, teleporting somewhere else, joining your state's offender registry, forcing others to lower their inhibitions, making Sims mad, setting things on fire, slavery, or escaping death. Because why not? In all honesty, it's a thorough list, but I do wish there were more unique effects. Many of them are very powerful, and it just kind of feels like cheating, and inducing a now what feeling for me and some people I know. Sims can have a familiar that will literally die for them. Well, not really. They don't die, they come back, so don't consider this the same level of sacrifice. I mean, what you did was heroic, Tweety, but you're not a hero. Anyway, familiars don't love you that much, but they'll help you if you take a death blow from overload, getting too greedy duping money tree seeds. For the people who love my channel and watch everything, they already know how I feel about things being mindlessly easy, so I won't rattle on. With Realm of Magic, you do get a functional caster system, brooms, potions, a new locale even as small, and just about every unique effect you can think of from other packs' features. The game just needs some sanity brought into the difficulty area with packs like this in order to be a game at all. As of March 2020 at time of writing, this is every game pack. I noticed going through this that there aren't many gameplay objects not tied to skills that come with game packs. It's just an observation. It's usually one core system, but I do appreciate their existence, as game packs allow the developers some flexibility to pursue smaller ideas that might not fit in an expansion. But I do feel in almost all cases we needed more content to justify the price. Can't change my mind on that one. The game market is flourishing and there are tons of games to play. Anyway, thanks for your time, and definitely consider sharing this or supporting me on Patreon if you really like what I do. Stay sane in lockdown. I know I am.